Welcome to another episode of Diva Court. We are live.
We hear y'all.
With me is my co-diva,
Dana
Smith.
Just me.
Just government names. Co-diva is what I refer to her as because we're coming to you live this evening. Hopefully you've already had your meal, you're relaxed, you've taken a seat on the couch, and you say, I would love to watch a live episode of Diva Court.
Look at you with the freestyle.
Well, tonight is your lucky night because we are pretty in pink.
I love it. I don't like this dress, but I love the
She
color.
hates the dress but loves the color.
Yes, I do.
Isn't that nice? Well, don't feel bad, listeners, because I hated the dresses she picked too. So the feelings are mutual.
She always got to come.
Check us out every
Ain't nobody
week.
sent for her. Return to sender.
Hey, find us on, I don't have an envelope, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Apple,
and Google Podcasts. Find our videos every Wednesday on YouTube where we push them out real good.
Or find us on live when we decide to go live.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, so catch us live. If you stay in tune.
Catch us if you can. Stay tuned. Catch us if you can.
Talking about catching us, if you can. Listeners, a U.S. Marine by the name of Daniel Penny in New York City decided to try to assist on a subway ride. What was he doing? Trying to keep someone who, according to the reports, has mental illness and was on there speaking loudly, and he decided to take the man into custody.
He was talking too loud.
He was talking too loud.
Like, where was all this energy on 9/11? And they was on the plane.
He said, I'm a Marine.
What about when they was on the plane? Why wasn't there no chokeholds to the terrorists?
I'm sorry. I was
on
deployed.
The plane?
He said, I'm a Marine.
Golly.
I am a veteran. So I was.
He's a who?
A veteran. So he was out fighting. What if he was out fighting? What's your take regarding people? Okay, listeners, what's your take, co-diva, regarding individuals that intervene and put themselves in positions of law enforcement?
It just depends on the situation. Like I said, 9/11, when there's terrorists on the plane, if you want to, Jack Bauer the situation, I'm with it.
Okay.
Bank robbery, you want to jump in there and.
Oh, you would jump in on a bank robbery?
Oh, no.
Let me tell you something.
No, I'm not with bank robbery.
Oh.
Lululemon, when they want to steal and you want to chase out, I'm not with that. So the only type of concern I have is if, maybe somebody has a bomb on them, or maybe somebody's trying to hijack a plane.
You jumping on a bomb?
No. Like if somebody want to put the bomb person in a headlock.
Oh, you want to stop them from pulling the bomb.
Right.
That's clarity because
they can do that. Bomb and airplanes. Go ahead.
You already going down anyway?
Hey.
So not without a fight.
Not without a fight.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of skeptical though about the subway situation. Unless the person's actually physically harming someone else.
Yeah.
You can talk as loud as you want
You
to.
can.
Now I'm going to be on guard, especially if I'm in the Marines.
I might even tell you to shut up. Like,
yeah,
shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Keep it down. Hey, you're too aggressive.
Like, get back, Jack.
Hey, back it up. Don't touch anyone. You can talk all you want.
Mm-hmm.
But here comes the mental health again that we talked about on the last 2 episodes of Diva Court, where your position was keep it in the family. Don't talk about therapy. Don't talk about getting help.
That's sad. You know what? You like them Trump lawyers. Like, somebody can tell you something and you say the exact opposite.
Is my interpretation off?
Your interpretation is lackluster at best.
It's shiny?
Lackluster. It ain't shiny.
It's flat? Is that what you're saying? It's matte?
Like my notes when I say Google us, it's flat.
Yeah, that's flat.
But no, what I said is that you do not have to pronounce your mental health to everybody who wants to hear it. Like if you cussed out somebody and you're giving out an apology, I don't want to hear about your mental health. No. You wrong. You apologize. I don't want to hear about because of your mental health. This is why I ain't trying to hear all that. Sorry is sorry. You are out of control. What I'm saying when I say keep it to yourself, don't show your cards, I was talking about in your family circle. You talk to your family about what's going on. Mm-hmm. You share it with them. Y'all work on getting some help. together. You don't have to share that with everybody that you meet. Everybody don't need to know your STD status. Everybody don't need to know your marital status. Everybody don't need to know your mental health status.
So what if we apply that across the board and they say, well, I'm not going to share my story about my battle with breast cancer. And although your story could help someone understand, hey, you too can overcome this. You're going to have sad days. You're going to feel like you want to harm yourself, but just keep hope alive. What if it's a keep hope alive story? You don't think that's important for other individuals to hear? Hey,
I think that's a different conversation.
That's what these people were talking about.
What I'm saying is you said this guy was having mental health
He
issues.
was.
And you want him to not tell nobody. Who? What? Okay, he on the train. I'm having mental health issues. What? So what?
No.
What I'm saying
What
is
if
that
his
the help
family
within his community?
What if his community felt like it was taboo to talk about mental health, and they didn't do anything to get him any help?
You said, Diva said that she don't want you to tell nobody about your mental health. She wants you to keep it to yourself. That's not what I said. I saw
keep it to your family.
What I'm saying is you don't have to. Sometimes people will use stuff against you. So you don't have to share all. So
your concern is going to be used as ammunition.
Exactly.
Well, we needed some ammunition with this young man.
Either used against you in a sense of, whatever reason, or you use it as a crutch of why you done cut somebody out because my mental health was flaring up.
Well, I just don't think the vigilante at the subway works out for people. I think
he might have had some mental health issues. He might have had PTSD.
The veteran?
Yeah.
The veteran?
He might have had PTSD.
Wow, he looks very normal to me, but
looks
I know
can be deceiving.
They certainly are.
Because the guy who was getting choked out, he looked normal too.
No, he didn't.
He looked like he was.
I saw googly eyes when they were squeezing his neck.
He did have, his eyes were watering.
Okay, my biggest concern though, when you put somebody in a chokehold, you have them under control. Two other individuals are assisting you with making sure no one gets harmed on the subway. Why, when the guy legs stopped flailing, you didn't take your chokehold off his neck? Think about that, because if you're a Marine, that means you have a special training that everyone else does not have.
This is why I said mental health be sometimes a crutch. Well, I had PTSD, and when I was in the war, somebody screamed, you was automatically alert, and I was just caught in that moment. And when I'm laying there choking him out, I'm thinking about that Afghanistan person that I had to save my team from because I was having PTSD.
And what if that's true? What if he actually was having PTSD?
Then
we got to balance it.
Then we have to balance it.
We have to balance it. But I'm concerned about this vigilante mindset.
Anytime I hear veteran, I hear, PTSD.
Well, they do have it. It's real.
Yeah. And it's not to be funny. It's for him to be like, it's a difference between Derek Chauvin.
Correct.
When they're telling him,
you're going to kill him.
Get off of him.
Yeah, you're going to kill him.
Compared to the guys who are still moving his arms around and the guy got him in a chokehold like, I'm saving America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel
the footage
about that.
we saw, I'm not too pleased with the footage. I can understand him intervening initially, but to extend...
How long did he have him in a headlock?
Too long.
How long was it?
Till he died. That's too long.
Was it like, was he on fentanyl?
Oh my God. You're talking about the victim?
Yeah.
Well, the defendant is going to need some fentanyl because according to the reports, listeners, the judge has decided that there's sufficient evidence to proceed to trial on the case. So he's taking his case to trial. So good luck to you, Mr.
What is his argument?
I know you're spending a pretty penny defending yourself because that's a lot to take it to trial. His argument is self-defense and defense of others.
You be better off with defensive. Like
you throw it both up.
Throw a punch.
No, if you're gonna say that you were concerned for the safety of that he got too close to some woman that was on the train and you thought he was gonna hit the woman, that the law does not require that you wait until the woman get punched in the face. You get to intervene.
No, but I get that to be defense of others. But you can't throw the first punch talking about that's self-defense.
Well, he says, I don't have to wait until you throw the first punch.
No, I'm not talking about, like, he over there messing with somebody else.
Right.
And then you run up there and you just punched him in the face. That's not self-defense. That's that's more so like defense of others. Like, if he was in your face and he was talking crap and you're like, and he was like, I'm going to kill you. And then he looked like he was reaching for something and you punch him in the face. I can understand that being self-defense.
But you know, as defense counsel, you throw it all up and hope something sticks.
Okay.
Even if the jurors say, okay, we don't find that your client was defending himself, but we do find that he was defending others. You really don't care as defense counsel. You want to win. So if you get a not guilty on defense of others, you're still good.
It just gives, as a person on the outside looking in, and maybe if I was ever a juror, if I ever see, you're the aggressor and you put self-defense, it makes me question you as a person. Like I want lawyers to understand that. Like when you say
I started it, but I am supposed to finish it because I became a victim. That is true, though. Let me clear that up for your listeners. That is possible.
Just like the girl who was chasing. I was in self-defense. I was chasing him down.
No, she wasn't chasing him in self-defense. When she got there, she said she needed to use self-defense.
I then I had to pull my gun when I ran up to his car, tell him to open up the window, and I shot him in self-defense. No. And so that's like...
No, yeah, that one is different.
Yeah, go ahead. And,
I know we can abuse it, but I just want the listeners to know that self-defense can flip even if you're the initial aggressor.
Okay. Because
if you're the initial aggressor and you swing at someone with a fist, that person can't just automatically take out their gun and
that's crazy, because with the police...
No. They have
a whole different level.
They have a license to kill.
Like if you swing with them with their fist, they can take out.
Let me tell you something.
AR-15.
You don't even have to swing. They just have to say, "I'm in fear for my safety," and that's it. You ever seen when they just say, "I'm in fear for my safety. I'm in fear for my life"? A car is coming in their direction. A car is going from them sometimes. Remember people getting shot in the back by police and they're saying, "I was in fear for my safety." The person is going in the opposite direction.
Or the guy who was walking around to get in the car and they was like, "I was in fear of my life."
Always. That's all they have to say. You don't swing, you don't punch, you don't show a gun, you don't do none of that. They're in fear for their safety and they get to shoot. You as a regular citizen, unfortunately, do not have that luxury. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how that case is going to turn out. We'll follow it here for you on Diva Court, but
I bet you something about, mark my words, y'all, I bet you something about PTSD
is going to come in.
I'm a veteran is going to come into trial.
I'm a veteran is going to come in because they're going to try to get sympathy unless the judge excludes it. And remember, prosecutors can ask for a motion in limine, which says we want to exclude using the word veteran because at the time he was doing his duties, he was not doing them as a veteran.
I would be, oh my goodness. I know, I mean, if it's excluded, the jury would never hear it. But that would be such a prejudice against the case, because as my defense, I fought for the country.
No. What you do for a living has nothing to do.
No, what I'm saying is,
what if I said I'm a surgeon, for God's sake? Do you know how many people's lives I've saved?
You gotta let me finish.
I'm a janitor. You know how many
toilets? You gotta let me finish before you can make the comparison. What I'm saying is that if I'm having PTSD because I went to fight in Iraq and that's where I got my PTSD, for me to say I'm not a veteran, that's part of my defense.
No, your judge can limit the conversation about your PTSD to, have you been diagnosed with PTSD? Yes. Okay. Then you could still use the PTSD as a defense. But remember, relevant evidence.
I went to war working for the Army.
Guess what?
So I didn't say veteran.
No, can't say that. Here's the thing. What you're trying to do with that is draw sympathy from the jurors. And jurors are not allowed to decide cases based on sympathy. They're required to decide cases.
Why else would your mental health, it draws sympathy for people?
No, it doesn't. It's a diagnosis. It's a medical diagnosis. And if you're saying your medical diagnosis caused you to act in a certain way, then I, as your judge, can let it in because it's part of your defense. But if you want to connect something or say something to a jury just for purposes of
my defense
sympathy?
is PTSD.
No, your defense is sympathy. Please don't convict me. I was in the military.
No.
Please don't convict me. I was a veteran.
How did I get PTSD? Because I was in the military.
It doesn't matter how you got it, as long as you've been diagnosed with it, and if you're using it as a defense for why you behaved in a certain way on the
So when
date
they-
of the
When
incident.
they do foundation for the doctor who diagnosed me, who's from the VA hospital, what they gonna say? Well, I'm from the
No, you don't have to say you're from the
Hospital.
VA, sir.
what? Where do you work?
No.
Where do you
no,
work? Well, how do you draw a
no,
foundation
no.
for that?
You would say,
Uh-huh.
"Are you, what do you do for a living?" I'm a physician. Okay, and what type of physician are you? I am a mental health physician. I'm a psychiatrist.
Where
okay,
they don't
have
ask
you
where
ever
work?
treated? No, you ain't got to. If the judge grants a motion in limine,
Uh-huh.
you are not going to say where this person works.
Okay.
You are not going to say anything about the military. You're not permitted to try to make any kind of connection to that. I got a case like that getting ready to go out right now. And the judge is saying, look. Co-defendant did something wrong. We're going to bring in the evidence regarding the co-defendant, but we're not going to mention that these are homicide detectives because that's going to be a red flag to the jurors that whatever the co-defendant in this case did has something to do with somebody died. And the judge knows that that's more prejudicial than it is probative. So if you're going to remember now, listeners, evidence can be relevant, but because it's more prejudicial than it is probative, we're not letting it in.
Okay.
Because we don't want jurors going, oh my God, my poor veteran. I have a soft spot for veterans. Forget about the evidence. Thank you for choking him out, although you shouldn't have. Not guilty.
That's why I probably don't need to be on the jury.
Oh, don't worry. We'll make sure you don't make
can't
it.
hide. You can't hide the blackness. What, he black? Innocent.
Ma'am, we haven't started the case yet. Oh, I'm sorry.
my bad.
I was voting early.
My bad. My bad.
Oh, you mean I got to hear evidence first? Okay. You done?
Innocent.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Unless
minute.
it's black on black crime.
Hey.
Then it's like,
Guilty.
I'm listening.
Double guilty?
Innocent.
Innocent on innocent? Look
Innocent
here,
on
speaking of innocent,
White supremacy. That's what I'm pleading.
you just have
I'm
buzzwords. You just have I just have buzzwords.
Just the buzz.
But speaking of innocent, we got a guilty.
Today is opposite day.
Today's opposite day. Listeners, what are we talking about? There has been an $11.1 million PPP fraud scheme in DeKalb County, Georgia. And two defendants from DeKalb County, city of Tucker and Decatur specifically, they have been convicted by a jury for fraud. Do you know how many people thought PPP meant personal property? Because people have stolen millions of dollars thinking that I'm just going to buy a Bentley. No, thank you. What's your take?
So one person received $11.1 million.
No, 6 individuals.
6 individuals
stole $11.1 million.
Like all together?
It was a scheme, their fraudulent scheme. So what
they
they were
worked
doing,
together.
yeah, they were all working in concert together.
Okay.
You know what's surprising? That didn't become a RICO. I wonder why.
What county was this in?
It's in DeKalb, but we do have
That's because Fani's not in there.
we do have a one-man RICO in
But that's because Fani's not running.
So where
it.
R. Kelly get his one-man RICO from?
Because that's
Fani was over there too. You think she tried R. Kelly?
She was over there trying to.
She's like, "Where's Waldo? Where's Fani?"
Where's the street to that? Because I'm thirsty.
You always thirsty.
Where's Fani?
Listeners, we're gonna have to get a water IV or IV for this
Some
Diva
B12 or
because
something.
be water.
Be water. Just fill me
So,
up, God.
These individuals thought it was a smart idea to steal the PPP. Now, you know what I find amazing? According to the reports, listeners, they stole this kind of money because everybody's asking, how did they get that kind of money? Anyway, my business wasn't getting, and I was in business for 20 years and I couldn't get more than 20,000. So how did they get all this money? Okay, so what they did is they created fraudulent documents, fraudulent statements, fraudulent W-2s, fraudulent, all fraud. So it's not that the government didn't vet any of these people, but they vetted them the same way they vetted everybody else. So I owned a business during the pandemic, and they would say to me, give me your tax returns. So if I created fraudulent tax returns,
I get money based off of my fraud.
I got money based on fraudulent tax returns. And then now that all this fraud is coming out, they go back and they're like, let's check her. Are those real? Yeah, IRS says they're real. Oh, okay. Did she have any backup? Yep, she's got backup. So it's not unheard of that this type of scheme could happen, because if you're willing to provide the fraudulent documents that you've been asked to produce,
you willing to take the time.
You willing to do the time if you're gonna do the crime.
Like 11 million, you can't even pay that. Like, you should have just like tried to take 10,000
that you could pay back in a plea deal. Hey, I'll take 10. I'm just trying to pay. But the problem you have is the mindset of this type of money, I'm just gonna go buy me a Bentley and I'm going.
Well, let me say this. Do I feel bad for the government being defrauded $11.1 million? No. Y'all have been defrauding black people for years, okay? Y'all have took the work, the labor, the resources. You stripped it all for us for over 400 years. Somebody took 11.1 million. Y'all owe us trillions. Now, so I don't feel bad for the government. I feel like, dang, I wish they would have got away with it.
What you said, that's 11.1 million y'all not gonna get to misuse?
Exactly. Where's the trillion of you guys owe in reparations? That's a drop. That's not even a drop. That's not even a spit. That's not even a nothing in the bucket for the 11.1 million.
Well, you know what though? We here at Diva Court want to make sure that ethics is still above board.
Ethics, okay?
We are still ethical.
Nah.
We still say it's wrong.
It's called karma.
You might not be sympathetic for the government because you know how the government's run, and you're not happy with how the government's run.
I'm
and you think the government mismanages
smart
money
enough to get away with it.
That's what made you mad?
Yes. That's what really made me mad, because whatever you did, you didn't do it well enough. Because I'm pretty sure there's other people who frauded the government
and got away with
more,
it. If it wasn't for those meddling kids.
If it wasn't, like, if you just took the money, like, oh yeah, now I'm about to get, like, if you ain't do it right.
No, but let me ask you a question. Would it be okay if they actually opened a business and employed people?
That would have been better.
You don't think they should do time anyway?
If they frauded the government
into operating a business,
but use that money to operate a business
and giving people jobs,
and use the money to do exactly what you were supposed to do, and then
all
of your tax returns were actually legit, and all of your paperwork was actually legit.
I said, and after that they paid them back. Thanks for the loan.
Here's your money
0% interest.
If they would have did,
you'd be okay with that.
I'd have been. I'm okay with the.
You
fact
say
that
no prosecution if that.
No prosecution. I'm okay with the fact that they didn't do that. I don't care that the government got defrauded.
You just mad they didn't put it to good use.
They didn't put it to the good uses
and got away with it.
And they didn't get away
or paid it back if it got caught.
You take enough money,
but did they put
it? You know that you could pay back.
Excuse me, Miss Hotep. Did they put it back into the black community though?
Ooh. They probably didn't, because when you buy a Bentley, don't know blacks own the Bentley company.
That is facts.
Yeah, that dollar didn't
not in evidence.
That dollar didn't circulate through the black community at all. Y'all could have opened up so many businesses.
They could have. That's really what upset me when I saw it. I felt like 11.1 million could have really made a difference in a lot of communities.
Do you know that you could open up a Chick-fil-A with $10,000?
You could buy a franchise. You could buy a franchise. You could buy a franchise of a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
And opened it and created jobs.
But a Chick-fil-A is a gold mine. The Chick-fil-A is so good that you can't pass it to your family. They can't inherit it. It has to go back to the company. Wow. Because they know once it sits on the block,
it's going back.
That block is spinning.
You didn't even have to do Chick-fil-A. You could have done any kind of company. Your dream company. Think about it though. If you had a company you've always wanted to open, you just never had the funds to open it. It was your dream that you could have launched it with that, but you didn't do that. You did foolishness. So you're convicted. Carla Jackson, you're convicted. Teldrin Foster.
How many years did they get?
They haven't been sentenced yet. I know they're going to get some good time.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get some.
They're going to get some good time. We have to send a chilling message that this is not what you do.
And that's the other thing that I don't feel bad for them either. It's like when you decide to participate in that kind of crime, you got to be able to look and see who's going to miss me if I have to go to jail.
Like, what if it's nobody?
Do I have any kids? Well, then you can't.
Go ahead, steal on.
If I was able to steal $11.1 million
and don't have a kid
and don't have kids,
I would
probably still be here. Like,
that's another question. Why are you still?
In the country?
If you took that kind of money,
PPP was 2020.
You're late. 4 years late.
like the Trump investigation.
Well, you know that's
with Colorado.
That can't be
4
late
years late.
because he don't stop.
4
He's
years
creating
late.
new ones as we speak.
Dummy. He dumb too.
All right, now. So speaking of dummy, let me not say that. I'm gonna take that back, listeners. But what are we gonna talk about?
Trump.
I want out. No, we're not talking about Trump. I promise y'all. We don't want you to go to bed on a nightmare. We want you to sleep good tonight, listeners. So we're not going to ruin your evening. But there is the YSL Young Thug trial going on in Fulton County. And the last man standing, or should I say woman, Attorney Williams, filed a motion to withdraw.
D. Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry. She wants to put the middle initial on it. Attorney D.
It's not a middle initial.
It's Carla D. Williams.
No, her name is D apostrophe Williams. Unless
wow, the D is part of her last name? I thought
Yes.
the D was her middle name. I didn't know her name was D. Williams. I've never heard of D. Williams
I haven't
before.
either, but according to
I think that's a typo for the media.
let's see if that's a typo.
I think that's
it's
a typo
not
for
a
the
typo
media.
according to the producer.
D. Williams.
De Williams.
De Williams. Wow. Never heard of a De Williams, but I'm not saying they don't exist because this one does.
Well, there it is. Whoop.
She filed a motion to withdraw from the case, listeners, and she said, I'm out because I cannot afford to stay here any longer. I am appointed to this case. I've got a flat fee appointment to this case. I'm not making any money. I've been on this case an entire year. This case is going to take a whole nother year to try. I'm sitting in a courtroom all day, every day, and I cannot bring in new clients while I'm sitting in a courtroom. I'm out. Good news for her. The judge said, via testimony of the GPDC, Georgia Public Defenders Council, testified, the head of that organization, and said, we'll give her a little bit more money. So they're throwing some more crumbs at her. And
Crumbs.
The crumbs. They said you might not be able to feed yourself, but you won't starve to death.
Well, you know, Christ gave the Canaanite woman crumbs.
Well, I don't know about that.
No,
but
in the verse, he was like,
I'm-
"Who gives the children's food to the dogs?" And and she said, "Well, the dogs sit on the table and eat the crumbs." And he was like, "Well, you can have the crumbs."
Well, she gets the crumbs, and Judge Glanville has denied her motion to withdraw. Denied. Now, keep in mind, listeners, she could have been denied whether she was getting crumbs or not, because the constitutional rights of the defendant is more important than your right to make a living. Here's why I say that. Once a
You know,
case,
there should be a law against. I thought it was a law against slavery.
it is one against slavery, but there's not one against you've gotten some money, so it's not slavery.
Oh,
Here's the problem. When you start a trial, there's a lot of expense associated with selecting the jury. Remember how long they took to select the jury? It's like 10 months to select a jury. You've heard all the evidence. You've been sitting here for all this time, more than 10 months now, almost a whole year in trial. And guess what? If I let you off the case, the new attorney is going to say, I need a continuance. I need to restart this case all over again. And the judge is going to say, negatory. If your withdrawal is going to cause harm to a defendant, irreparable harm, this guy's been sitting here all this time, especially if the client's in custody, and you have heard all this evidence. You could have asked to withdraw a year ago. You knew how much money you got. You knew the anticipation of the discovery. You knew, I had already told y'all at numerous hearings, I think this case is going to take us a year to try. You should have withdrawn then, when it was easier for us to have replaced you. So since you put us in peril and you're putting this gentleman sitting next to you in peril, you can go nowhere. Motion to withdraw denied. In my 21 years, I've had one denied. Even though I said, Judge, I gotta go. Mr. Green didn't show up. I gotta go. The judge was like, nope, you're not going anywhere. You're too good at this. We've gone very far.
and we say Mr. Green didn't show up. Where was he at?
He was at the bank, and what he should have done is made it to my bank. But Mr. Green didn't come to my bank. Therefore, I was like, Judge, I got to go.
Did he ever show up?
No, Mr. Green didn't show up because he realized the judge was making me stay on the case.
Saying Mr. Green, you ain't talking about the
No,
client's name
the
Mr.
client
Green.
was there, but he didn't bring Mr. Green
Okay.
to my
I
office.
was like, well, why was Mr. Green at the bank? So he was getting the money?
Mr. Green refused to come to my office because the client didn't bring him. Get it?
All right, I wish it. Was this a appointed case too?
No. Isn't that crazy? It was like, I signed a contract. The contract says, and she was like, no, I understand, but you're really good at this. And I like the way you do it.
You were paying for her entertainment.
Is that what that was?
Your time was
I
paying
need
for
to
her.
stop carrying on in the courtroom.
Yeah.
You know, that's happened to me in federal court. I was in federal court just last year trying a case. And the judge I was trying the case before wanted the young attorneys who were in law school to see a trial because, you know, federal cases usually don't go to trial. Whether civil or criminal, they usually settle because everybody's afraid of the federal courtroom. It is very intimidating. Do not get it wrong. The ceilings are extremely high. The judge is way over there. You almost feel like you're talking on the mic. Hello, judge. Hello, how are you? How are you? All the way across it. They got time clocks on both sides of the wall. You have timers, red timers you have to look up at to realize your time is up so you can finish your argument really quickly. They really run on a tight schedule. So I'm in the courtroom and he wants them to learn how to do it. So what does he do? Pretend as if he doesn't understand what I'm talking about. So I don't understand, Miss Mignot. Hold on a second. So are you saying that? Come on now. You know good and well what I'm saying. Stop it.
So how you know he brought the little young attorney?
Because they were sitting in the back of the courtroom.
Okay.
A whole classroom of them.
Okay.
So when I noticed that he was not understanding after all those years on the bench
Right.
what I was presenting, I realized, aha, eureka. I see what you're doing. He wanted them to get an opportunity to see a federal trial,
Right.
and he wanted to ask questions he knew the answer to.
Right.
But he was asking them just so that the students could see this is how you respond to that type of question. This is why I asked the attorney that, and she's been doing this quite some time. I won, so he was impressed. And I saw him after that, and he was like, I enjoyed trying your case. I was like, I didn't enjoy you making an example out of me.
Well, you know, when you do what you do,
Hey.
you got to do it right.
Well, let's see if Fulton County is going to do what they do. They've been hacked. Fulton County Superior Court listeners
Again?
have been seriously hacked this time.
Well,
Okay.
so it was partially hacked the last
I guess
time?
it was a partial hack because they didn't do nothing.
They had to, I think it was crazy because the last time they
the
got
hack
hacked,
wasn't that bad. I don't think it
no,
was
they
that.
had shut down everything.
No, but they were up and running pretty quick. This is what, 3 weeks now?
So what's happening with the people who got like in custody for like
Look, they didn't say the jail was hacked. The court
no,
system
but if
was
the
hacked.
system
So the things they can't see is what was your bond if you got a bond granted.
right. So you like if you in the county prison,
You going to sit there.
right? That's what I'm saying. That's what
They
that's what
can't
happened.
see. They can't schedule any court dates. They have to wait to do that.
This is habeas corpus.
Oh, let me tell you something. They've
is that,
been
is
asked
that
for.
right? Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Okay.
They've been asked, but you can throw words out. I know you like to do that.
Habeas corpus. Where's the body? Where's the body? The body go. The body's in this room. They can't find them. And that's not
This
habeas
is habeas
corpus.
papers. Where's the
Habeas
papers?
Where the paper at? Habeas digital.
Where are the digitals?
Habeas digits.
So the problem they have is they've been told pay the ransom or we're going to spread your news all over. It's really bad though because they have like civil information, they have criminal information, the date of births, socials,
Security numbers.
they got a lot. And the people holding their documents ransom is saying, we're not turning them over until you pay the ransom. And then they're saying it's a pretty decent ransom company. Like the people who are doing it are top notch. They know how to do it.
You know why? Because they are the ones who set up their system. It's like
The people
they
who
came
sold them
in,
the
it's like,
security.
we're gonna give you this security system, and it's gonna be great. No one's gonna be able to hack it. And then
But
their
me.
sister, and then
Other than me.
their sister company. See, that's what that 11.1 million could have went to.
Hey, de-hacking.
De-hacking.
We'll help you get de-hacked.
We'll hack. We'll set you up.
We're
to
the
get
de-hacking
hacked.
side of
We'll
the
set you up to
hacking
get
side.
hacked.
That's sad. That's like the people who make radar detectors, make radar guns. Hey, cops, you can tell their speed. Hey, people, we can tell you the
when
cops trying to check your
right, we
speed.
can tell-
You got to make the money up front and on the other
Get
side.
it on both sides.
Crazy. Yeah, they're in a quandary. So I went to court and the judges are like, I would love to give you a court date, but I can't. So everything is going manual. Some of them are able to get copies because some people still had paper copies. That's like me. I believe in paper copies. I don't like this cloud. That cloud just don't feel right. I can't reach into the cloud and find my stuff. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what's funny? I'm going to tell you a funny story. One time I've been hacked and I got hacked on my home computer and the person sent me an email and said, I got all your family pictures. And if you don't pay me, they made up some number, some ridiculous number, like $1,000. You're not going to get your photos back. And I was like, you boop. I got the family. You can keep the photos.
say?
They didn't respond, but they didn't give me my pictures back. Since I had the family, I didn't care. You can keep the photos. I'll just make more.
I didn't remember that. I didn't remember you told me that.
Crazy.
All right, y'all. It's Christmas time. Stand here, and here. Let's take this.
Let's
photo.
redo these.
We're about to redo these.
Put that pajama back on.
Right.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Right here.
Christmas in July.
It ain't even Christmas. What we supposed to be doing here? Where's my presents at least?
No. We gonna pretend like you got presents. We gonna
Rewrap
wrap
them
empty
gifts.
boxes.
Rewrap them gifts.
Rewrap empty boxes.
Right.
Hey, we're just gonna retake this birthday. I know it ain't your birthday, but let's pretend they won't know the difference. Yeah, so
look young.
When you
with AI, you could just make everybody look like babies.
that is true. Now you can.
You don't even need.
Don't play with AI. It's sickening. I'm glad they're trying to work on, speaking of AI, telling you the difference. They're gonna try to label it.
Let me tell you something. I saw this on the internet. It was like
wonderful.
It was like on like Facebook, or it was like on
where
Instagram.
You get all the rest of your news.
The reels. It was this guy. Actually, it was on like a CNN or ABC, but it was a reel on Instagram. It was this guy who had this microphone.
Oh yeah, to do surgery.
No.
Oh, okay.
Microphone in his mouth. A piece of the microphone connected to his temple. And he would, the host would ask him questions. He would think about the questions, and supposedly the thoughts that he thought would search the internet, and then they would give him the answer. Like the computer would give him the answer. He would hear the answer and he would repeat it.
Wow.
And I was like, they trying to mind control us. Are you telling me they trying to read our thoughts? Read our thoughts. But then look,
they're already controlling your mind, listeners. They already got it.
Before they said that, I was like, oh my gosh, they're reading your thoughts now. But then the question, the guy was like, the people was like, so you telling me that they don't hear the interviewer asking the question? And I was like, oh. Okay,
Sorry.
I guess he could probably like if you could read my thoughts.
You can lie.
If you can hear these questions, but you know what I'm saying? Did
in
you
your
see
head.
This
in
happened.
your head.
Look it up. It's on like ABC.
Read my thoughts.
Speaking of something else, did you hear that Kelly Rowland got she left the Today Show?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not that she got kicked off, but
she got tired.
No. I guess she was gonna be a guest on the show.
Okay.
And something happened.
Oh, and she walked away.
And she walked off the show.
Ooh.
And then they tried to say that she was being, of course,
a diva.
Yes.
Okay.
But somebody had her back. Who was it?
Maybe she'll tell us why.
Who was it? Somebody was. Marlon Wayans was like, y'all not about to come for her like that.
Maybe she'll tell us why.
I didn't. It was on the Today Show. But those are the two things that I forgot to tell you.
But
about.
Fulton County, go paper. Don't go paperless because you have less paper right now.
Now they in violation. So what about the person who was arrested and he had 72 hours before?
No. They're getting those people still before a judge. You got to go before a judge. Okay. So what will happen is if they can get from the jail records any documents, everything is being done manually now. Like when they want to send out subpoenas, they're actually driving them to the precinct and saying, you need to come to court. Everything is a paper. They've gone back to.
How long have they been doing this?
Wow, it's been a minute now. I think they're going into their third week because they don't want to pay the ransom. I think the problem is because when I go places, I get frustrated when they want all this information. You go to the glasses office, ma'am, could you go online and fill out your check-in, do electronic check-in? What's happening to that stuff? Oh, it's sitting in the cloud. So when they get my date of birth, my social, my medical history, my address, and man, what else is left? Oh, do you want to fill out a piece of paper? Yeah. So I'm filling out the piece of paper. She goes, well, we're going to put that in the system anyway. Okay. So either I put it in and they compromise me or you put it in and they compromise me. Hated it. Stop asking for all the information if you're not going to spend the money to protect it because it's expensive to put up the security walls that you need to keep these new age hackers that's sitting at home.
No, the hackers work for the company. You have to pay. There's a premium level. Then you have to pay diamond exclusive VIP MVP of the year, multi-time Illuminati to get
to get protection
that the hackers that they employ don't get to holler.
Can I buy that with a level of Illuminati hacking?
Yeah, Illuminati non-hackable. You need that Illuminati non-hackable.
Illuminati non-hacker protection.
Yes.
Is that the level?
That's the diamond.
How much does that cost?
VIP.
Can I get it on just these documents and not all of it?
Can I just get it on the documents my social security number is on?
Oh my God. All right. Hot topic. Fani Willis testified at the motion to disqualify hearing. And we saved the best listeners for last. Okay. Did you watch any of it?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I only know the
gossip.
No.
No. All right.
Well, I did watch some of it.
You saw clips.
I don't know. Right. I don't know enough of it. When I say this, it's nothing that she said that has changed my mind on what I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Okay. So here's the deal. Listeners, Fani Willis is the Fulton County District Attorney that is prosecuting Donald Trump. Everybody knows that by now, even if you're in an African jungle somewhere. She had a relationship with the current special prosecutor who's prosecuting the case against Donald Trump. So in his divorce proceedings, they asked for discovery. They, being his ex-wife's attorneys, asked for discovery to be produced. Normal process in any divorce case that is contested. Or even if it's not going to be contested, you're still entitled to discovery. Discovery is, I want to find out what the value of the marital estate is, so I, as the judge, can determine what equitable distribution looks like. So fast forward. In the discovery, if this gentleman was trying to hide something, he'd have just kept that bank statement to himself, because it's one bank statement that's created this whole ruckus. One of his bank statements showed Fani Willis's name on it as a beneficiary of an airline ticket, right? So when it was turned over to counsel for the special prosecutor, Attorney Wade's ex-wife's attorney, somebody got a hold of Trump's people, because the ex-wife's attorney doesn't represent Trump, nor is she one of the attorneys for any of the defendants in the Trump election stealing case. So how did they find out?
She got paid.
How did they find out?
She got paid.
I can't say that because I don't know if she got paid.
Well, you're an officer of the court, but I'm going to say it.
You think she got paid?
No, here's the thing. Attorney-client privilege. So my attorney cannot give that information to anybody without my permission. Why would I give out my permission? Because I want to see him go down. But let me benefit it. You want this?
So what if the wife said, you don't have to get paid, I'll do it for revenge purposes only?
Well, her paid is it might not be in funds. It might be just in
revenge. So it could be in revenge.
Revenge is a dish served cold. She has to. Here's the thing. If she's not filing a complaint against her attorney, then she's a part of the whole
She's
scheme.
Not filing a complaint.
Right, she's a part of the
And in
scheme.
fact, her attorney got media coverage, because I saw the media coverage where they were talking to her attorney when they came out of the hearing. That's the hearing that they subpoenaed Fani Willis to come testify at in the divorce proceeding. And Fani was like, no, motion to quash subpoena, because I don't know anything about your marriage. I don't know anything about your divorce. I don't know anything about your finances. The best person to testify about the marital finances is one of the spouses. So subpoena him. Oh, you don't need to subpoena him. He's part of the case. He's the plaintiff. He's trying to get a divorce. He'll be in court. Ask him. So we get back to the motion. Somehow the Trump defense counsels got a hold of that information, filed motions to disqualify Fani Willis, and alleged that she benefited from her relationship with Special Prosecutor Wade by the contract that the county has with him to represent, to be special prosecutor to prosecute Donald Trump. All right. So I hear that. It's a soundbite. I'm like, ooh, that's tough. Numbers that were thrown around, listeners, is he made $300,000, and it was part of some scheme between him and Fani Willis that they were dating, and because they were dating, she decided to say, hey, you know what? What'll be a great idea? How about, since we're knocking boots, I just go ahead and give you the contract, and then you can take me on trips.
I don't think it'd have been that clean.
That's where they were going. That's the allegations. All right. So now we get to the hearing. At the hearing, this is the testimony. He testifies that although you see the purchase of the airline ticket, she reimbursed me for her portion of the trip. So she testifies One of the reasons, first of all, I didn't realize the relationship was over.
And he didn't realize what relationship was over.
I thought from the news reporting that the relationship was still ongoing. Like she was still having a relationship with this special prosecutor. I didn't realize that based on the testimony, it sounded like a fling. Like the two of them were dating. They had met years before. Nothing really popped off. He ran for judge. He was doing judge stuff for a second. And that when she ran for judge, she kind of reached out, hey, you ran for judge, what. They never connected. He was just giving advice because he would do speaking engagements and she would come to speaking engagements. Long story short, they move on. They don't see each other for quite some time. After he gets the job, I guess based on that communication, they've been talking to each other because now you're special prosecutor for my office. You've been contracted with my office. So we're seeing each other all the time. Let's go lunch. Let's do this. Let's do that. So there were lunch dates that they took or they went out to eat or whatever the case may be. They testified and she testified that, wait. You're talking about an airline ticket? I paid that back. You're talking about a trip? I paid that back. How'd you pay it back? I paid it back in cash.
Of course.
Oh, you paid it back in cash. Do you have any documents to support that? Of course. I disagreed with how she presented. She went sister girl in her hearing. Let me tell you something. This is how it works, okay? And I'm paraphrasing. My testimony is evidence. This is literally, my testimony is evidence. So when I testified that I paid it back, that's evidence. She is correct.
Right.
It is evidence. Testimony is evidence in court.
You're supposed to refute it.
Other than that, a law enforcement officer couldn't get up and say, I saw him, he looked like he had glassy eyes and don't have a body cam to go with.
I was afraid for my life.
I was afraid for my safety. And he don't have a picture of him going,
right.
So testimony is evidence. So they go through all the salacious stuff and it got ugly. It got so ugly that Judge McAfee had to take a break, a 5-minute break, because question was asked by attorney Ashley Merchant of Fani. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm glad you said that. This is a lie. This is a lie.
What was she saying was a lie?
She was asking her about him spending the night at her home or living with her, because some of the allegations that they made in their motions is that they had lived together at a property and they had never lived together. So a lot of the allegations in the documents that were filed with the court to get the hearing was false. And it didn't come out that it was false until the hearing. So she was upset because, unfortunately, there's no ramifications for the attorney who's filing a document with evidence that she can't prove what she's filing in there. You would think that that would be a problem for an officer of the court, but we know how the State Bar of Georgia operates. Not all officers are the same. And I'll leave it there for those who are watching. But there was no ramifications for the attorney to have listed in the filings that they lived together and that they lived together at the same home and that there was a contract. They found out the contract was granted prior to them getting in the relationship, the brief relationship. The funniest part of her testimony was that the relationship was not going to work because he said that the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. I thought that was hilarious. That he's a male chauvinist pig is the inference I drew. That the entire relationship, she wanted him to know, I'm an independent woman. Because she said, I told him, sir, I'm an equal. We are both attorneys and it wasn't going to work because I'm an equal. And the only thing a woman could do for that man was make him a sandwich. There was time where they were talking about, so were y'all together at that time? And she said, I'm not going to emasculate a black man, but he had cancer. And I was running for office, so we never had time. No. So what inference would you draw? Dude has cancer,
ED.
Probably prostate. It has to be, because it sounded, the inference I drew from her testimony was he couldn't be intimate because he was in the middle of cancer treatment.
Yeah, he probably had ED because of the cancer.
I don't know whether he had DD, ED, or BD. My point is, all that stuff, the hearing was supposed to be about how the defendants who were on trial for election interference was prejudiced. Oh, let me tell you, it was salacious. It was good television. I disagree with the sister neck rolling approach. And I believe that there was a more professional, poised way to have presented. She differed. And I guess it worked for her because I saw that Donald Trump was not happy that the defense counsels did not do their job. The floor is yours.
Okay. I have a poem. It goes a little something like this.
Do I need a drink?
You might need one. Black woman, what have you done? Black woman.
Should have dated a white man and have fun.
They got you on the run. Black woman, you know better than this. Black woman.
Never
that
date a black man again
you
after this.
Dismissed.
Look,
black woman.
look, let me do what
We're supposed to run the world. Black woman. What am I supposed to tell my girls?
Never date a black man
No,
or
I'm
give him
never
a
gonna do
This
contract.
is what you would say. Don't be this one. Don't be this one.
But okay, so this is my take. She shouldn't even be in this situation. That's my take. Like, I have two takes. So the first take is black woman to the black woman. We always have to be above reproach. You are the DA. If you smell a hint of possible RICO, you charging everybody and their mama. And now, when you decide to take on the president of the United States and you see how he go and he just
Former.
whatever. He's a
Former.
he's like a bull in a china
Cabinet.
right, just
Tearing up stuff.
You cannot put yourself in a situation that you look bad. Like, we're looking at you. We're rooting for you. We want you. DA. What's after DA? Governor. What's after governor?
We can't.
Like,
Reality show comes next.
well, that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
But before, if you would have killed this case, you wouldn't be now in a place where you might get a reality show. Like, you could have taken this to the governor's mansion and then maybe to the presidency. But no.
But you know what? I honestly think that the United States public is so fickle. Their memories are so short.
But when it comes to
that
black
if
people,
she
it's different.
if she actually gets the victory, because remember now, what people are discounting is she's already got people who pled and are ready to testify. They have already rolled and said we're guilty and we're going to tell you how we know.
Yeah, I don't.
My point is,
trust plea dealers.
my point though is the jury's still out because plea dealers across this country, they trusting them every day.
But here's the thing though, if they throw her off the case, does that affect the plea
That's
dealers?
the problem. There was no evidence to support.
I
don't think McAfee is going to throw her off the case.
Okay, let's just say he
because
does.
her having
let's just say he does throw her.
the
off
charges
the case.
are not dismissed.
The charges are
Another
dismissed.
prosecutor gets appointed.
Okay.
You still going to jail.
Okay, but at the end of the day, my thing is that you shouldn't even be in this position.
No, I agree with you.
You shouldn't.
I
even be.
agree
Right.
with
so
you.
No, so I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm talking to her. I'm not.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
We have to be.
I agree
If
with you.
this is the creme of the crop, we have to be here just to be able to show up here.
I agree.
So it's like
agree.
it's been installed in us. Like, you just got out of character, and when you get out of character, they slap you back.
No,
into
there's
reality.
certain things that are off limits when you're in certain positions.
Right.
And
if you are a
unfortunately-
DA, because I could just sit here and make up a story of how bad it looks. Even if you met him after he was hired, you know what I'm saying?
That's why they did it, though.
Right.
They did it because you're foolish enough to put yourself in that situation, and they capitalized on it.
Right. So my thing is, it's you put yourself in you're dating somebody who is a subordinate, even though he don't work directly for you, but he still is a subordinate to you. You know what I'm saying? That should be
Don't let him hear that. You'll be making sandwiches,
that
girl.
should be a no-no. All of this masquerading of, you paid the ticket back. I don't know. No, I don't care how independent the black woman
No,
is.
they pay it back.
No.
I would pay it back.
No. You paid it. No. You paid it back because somebody told you, like, this don't look right. And you paid it back in cash.
No.
Marsha,
Let me tell you something.
have the story right quick. Can I have the story?
Have the story.
Thank you. Black women, no matter how much money is, if you gonna take you or this, you or that, blah blah blah. I see this in her. She not you. Because if she was you, she wouldn't have been sitting on that stand in the first place. She not you because if she was you, she wouldn't be look at my mouth. She wouldn't be doing that. So you cannot put you in her situation. I'm putting her in the typical basic, and I don't say basic to be disrespectful,
Right.
but basic black woman.
Because it's a basic circumstance.
It's a basic. Oh yeah. I know how much you get paid. Yeah, we gonna go on a trip. And then you probably thought, ooh, I probably need to pay this man back because he is a subordinate of mine. Let me go ahead and cash him back. But I know he done took you out to dinners where you didn't.
No. She admit that. She admit
Right, so,
that
like,
sometimes she would, and he did too. He said, look, if we went out to dinner, she would pay. If I went out to dinner, he would pay.
Marsha, yes, believe the testimony. I get it.
Here's the thing. I do know women that are not on a platform, not on a stage,
but
that say
I'm
to me,
giving her this personality.
No. Even not me.
Not you.
Me. Somebody completely different from me.
The personality that you were given. The personality that you was given. This is the black woman that is like.
That's why I think she paid it back. Because when I saw the sisterhood come out, I was like, nah.
That's the exact opposite. The exact opposite.
No,
exact opposite. Because the woman that's like you with the integrity would not have dated a subordinate in the first place.
No,
she wouldn't even put herself in that position.
You don't understand my point. My point is this. I have met women that are professionals that said, you know what? He was going to pay for the trip, but he acted a plumb fool when we got there. He behaved so disrespectfully that when I got back, I was so upset that I gave him his money back. I know married couples.
Okay, so
listen to me. I know married couples, and I'm not gonna call no names.
Are you saying that if she wasn't mad at him, she wouldn't have gave the money back?
Correct.
Okay,
but I'm saying that
so even if that's
separate and apart from putting herself in the situation.
If that's the mindset, I only paid you back because you made me mad. You want to go pay him back?
No. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying that I know of other individuals that said we were supposed to take the trip. But this dude was such a jerk because he wasn't who I thought he was. And women get in that situation all the time. People, when you meet people, they introduce you to their representative. You got to listen, though. You got to listen objectively. And I understand the position of, no, I don't think you would have paid him back. And I'm upset because there's two separate things. The first thing is you shouldn't have put yourself in that situation. Check that box. Right. Second thing is, I can understand why you would say he's a professional, I'm a professional, we're equals. Let me see how this is going to work out. You understand? Two professional individuals dating. That's not uncommon. Here's why I say that. Because people date on the job all the time.
Not for the Trump case,
Stop.
though.
Michelle Obama was the superior for
the Trump case is what I'm talking about.
No, it doesn't matter. He became president.
Matter.
No, what I'm saying to you is people date
the real question is, how is she supposed to date any black man when she's putting
She can't date no black man because she's a prosecutor and it's a possibility somebody going to be connected to somebody that's connected to somebody.
After the case was over.
And they would have still said, we want a motion for new trial.
If he had cancer and all that other stuff.
Listen to me.
Why you, if you knew he was an a-hole, why you taking trips with him anyways?
You don't know that until you get to know the person.
That's why this story doesn't make sense because you can tell an a-hole.
Hold on. You married the first man you dated?
That's not what I'm saying.
Hold on, I'm just asking questions. You married the first man you dated?
You gotta.
Hold on, let me back up. Let me walk with you. You married?
You telling me?
Hold on.
You telling no.
No.
Let me
you
gonna answer first.
Nope.
Let me set it out first.
Nope.
You're responding to something I say.
No,
let me make
you got
clear.
to answer the question first. Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. Okay, now that I answer it, let me set it out.
So you've dated jerks.
What I'm telling you, I didn't go on trips with jerks.
Did you date a jerk? Did you date a jerk? So you dated a broke jerk.
What I'm telling you, no.
He couldn't afford a trip.
That's probably true. What I'm telling you is this. Before we take a trip, I'm going to know what kind of person you are. Before I hop on a plane.
No, you're not.
Okay. Well, maybe you just hop on planes
with
strangers.
No, you're not.
Maybe you a pretty woman and the man walk in and you just.
No, you're not. Because let me tell you something. That's why your grandmother and your mother used to say, wait, baby, take some time to know him. More than 6 months, more than a year, because you're meeting the representative. And these representatives can act. These men can put on an act.
If the man was about, a woman could just make my sandwich. You should have known that before you went on a flight with him.
Wow.
Period.
Excuse me, sir. You're such a nice guy. Wow. We went to lunch. Oh, that was pretty neat. He's pretty decent. We talked about this, that.
So was he paying then?
What, when they went to lunch?
Yeah.
She paid and he paid. That's their testimony. And I
Yeah,
know that
they hold
because
it down together.
I paid.
We gonna say the exact same thing.
I've been on dates that I've paid.
We ain't touched.
I've been on dates.
You wouldn't put yourself in a situation where the
I'm not
integrity
saying that I will put myself in that situation.
So you can't use yourself as an example.
That's why I'm telling you.
I'm talking about, I'm putting me and you are two different people. I'm more like homegirl. You are above reproach.
Wait a minute. I'm going to say it myself since the producer won't say it. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, we hanging out. He paying for, he going to pay for this trip. Did, blah, blah, blah. If he was an a-hole, I wouldn't have went on the trip in the first place, but I know he ain't. And I know he ain't. Now that I got caught up in some nonsense, I'm going to say whatever I have to say to get out this nonsense. Even though it's not, it's just the
Why
illusion.
is it so much easier for the public, people like you, and I respect your position, to believe the worst instead of what I say happened?
Because she made a dumbass decision in the first place. When you make one bad decision, I'm just gonna keep going with the fact that you're on a roll of dumbass decisions.
But here's the thing,
the
because I know people
the best decision would have
make decisions sometimes depending on where they are emotionally, financially.
You are a DA, and the slightest smell of criminality, you are trying to throw somebody under the bus. It is, if you smell somebody walk past you with a little scent of weed, you want to take him to jail. But you do something that could slightly be wrong. To me, I'm pissed at you. I'm mad because I know so many people who probably went to jail for less than what you're getting accused of. And you have charged people for less. So I don't give no respect to a person.
I think she's charging for felonies, ma'am. Those are not less. Those are more.
Whatever.
Those are felonies. But here's my point. Listeners, it is not uncommon. Separate her job for a woman in an emotional state to have some type of companion.
This is why women can't run for president. Because they don't know how to make decisions.
I'm just going.
They don't know how to make decisions without being emotional.
Skip right past that
filthy,
that male chauvinist.
When I say whoa, I mean whoa.
Look at Hillary.
I'm just gonna skip.
Look at the queen.
Hillary wasn't the cheater, ma'am. Her husband was.
She couldn't even get her
Could you
household
put
together.
the blame at the feet of the man?
She couldn't keep her household
together.
together.
Wait a minute.
How she gonna run the White House? Quote from Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama said,
"So it's the woman's. It's the woman's fault.
White House if you can't run your own house.
So it's the woman's fault when
That's
the
what
man
Michelle Obama
cheats.
said.
Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
It's the woman's fault when the man cheats.
Yes.
Wow. All I can say, listeners,
look at
is
the queen.
wow.
Look at the queen. Look
Wow.
how cold-hearted and evil she was. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Okay.
Wow. All
Women
I'm gonna
have
say
not
is
been great
wow.
leaders.
Wow.
I haven't seen one yet.
We lead households across this country every single
what's her
day.
name? Dianne Feinstein.
Excuse me, who do you think multitasks in most households?
That's what they need to be.
I guess you're not doing
That's what they
anything
need
at
to
your
be.
house. You're not
They need
making
to be
sure the
in the
kids are
house.
good.
They need to be in the
cooking,
house.
cleaning.
They don't need to be
and actually
out in
working
leadership. They need
and
to
an
be in the
equal
house.
with your spouse.
They need to be in the house.
So at your house you
or
less?
they need to be like a secret weapon. But
So
they
you
don't
at the
need
house?
to be running it.
So you at the house. So you leave it to Beaver.
I'm right here right now.
You Miss Cleaver.
I'm right here right now.
Miss Cleaver. I'ma leave it to Beaver.
That's why women don't need to
And
be.
as
You
we
see
say
that?
here
You
on
can't
Diva Court,
can't make good decisions without a man.
I am going to drink to Fani. You made a mistake, but you're not a mistake. Keep the prosecutions going. Never do that again. Don't date any black men. Thank you.
Is that what it is?
We'll drink to that.
Don't you? You should have dated a white man that wouldn't have came for you.
Brian, there you go. That part. Saw what Kamala Harris did?
She ain't.
It worked out well for her.
She ain't a black
She's
woman
at
for
the
real.
vice president house. Ladies
No,
and gentlemen,
you saw what my Supreme
order. I'm closing this show.
The Supreme Court. What's her name?
You don't know her name?
Katara. Is her name Harris?
Katanji.
Katanji.
Miss, I
I'm
am
not supposed
so.
to know that. That's the only name.
Excuse me, Miss African. Her mother got it from Africa.
Well, that's fine, but that's.
You're not going back to Africa anymore?
I will. That's the first time
When?
Soon. That's the first time that I've heard that name before.
I can't with you.
That's the first time.
I'm just gonna order. We are closing
have some of yours.
the show. You can't have nothing more to drink.
Nothing more.
Nothing more to
Nothing
drink.
more.
Nothing more to drink.
Nothing more.
Ladies and gentlemen, find us every week on
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts,
Apple,
and Google Podcasts. Don't forget to look for our videos every Wednesday when we push them out for you real good.
Did we get any comments today?
I got a comment for you.
What's up?
What we say here on Diva Court when we close the show,
We'll
drink to that.
We should answer some of the comments because the people want to know.
I got a comment for you.
We're drinking to that.
I'm gonna drink to that and to this and to that too. We got to drink to that.